Frogger Hyper Arcade Edition. I'm sure some of you out there must be thinking, Hyper Arcade Edition? This isn't Street Fighter. It's a game about a frog jumping across a highway. How hyper can this get? Well, it can get pretty crazy. And that's both the strength and the weakness of this title. When the game focuses on the single player experience, it can be quite fun for a little bit. Now, if you've never played Frogger before, it's broken down into two stages. A highway where you have to avoid cars and trucks, and a river where you hop your way to home. Then rinse and repeat. This is one of those arcade games that just keep recycling the same level over and over again, with only minor changes to the obstacles and speed increases. That doesn't make it bad, but just a bit monotonous. So the creators of this title tried to expand the game a little, while keeping the feel of it alive, and I would say overall they succeeded. There are 6 games to play, with a randomizer and a challenge mode as well, so I'm going to very briefly go over them all. Of course there's the original game. Like I said before, you maneuver your frog through traffic and across a river to your final goal of the home. In case you've forgotten the last minute that I mentioned it. There's also an offshoot called Lady Frog Rescue, where you have to collect lady frogs, hence the name, and bring them home for points. This one can get dull very quick. However, the same could be said for the original game, but that's the problem with a game with only one screen. Plus there's another version called Twin Frogs, where you control 2 frogs at the same time. It's a very interesting idea that's done very poorly. The game can be very fun when you're trying to cross a freeway, but it's extremely difficult while trying to cross a river because the logs and the lily pads will come at different intervals. And even the easiest level is frustrating to maneuver. Paint. This one I actually found the most fun and challenging. They give you a time limit to hop over these special tiles, and these tiles make up a picture. But one mistake and you're going to have to do the whole level over again. Tile capture. This one has the same vein as Paint, but instead it's a multiplayer game. However, this time they have you hop over and flip over tiles to make it your color. Then it will be your opponent's job to flip them over to their color. And you keep doing this until the time runs out. But the worst of the bunch has to be this Battle Royale, where they have you and 3 other players collecting power-ups and killing other players. The one who lasts the longest will be the winner. It ends up being a chaotic mess, which is barely playable. You'll often lose track of your frog, and most of the skill involved will come down to pure luck, as it'll basically be who gets the power-up first. One of the selling points of this title is the fact that you can change the skins to the game, to different characters and backgrounds. You can change it to the graphics of the 8-bit era, an updated graphical look, Contra characters, or Castlevania characters. They were okay add-ons, but they really did nothing to change my enjoyment I had for the game. Frogger Hyper Arcade Edition was a nice update to the classic arcade game. This would be a great 500 Wii point addition to your classic collection. Unfortunately, it's not 500 Wii points, it's 700, and in some places 1,000. I know some of you out there might be saying, oh come on, it's only $2 more. But I have to say it's not worth those extra $2. At 500 Wii points, I would say it's barely worth the money due to its limited replayability, due to the repetitiveness of the title itself. So unless you're a die-hard Frogger fan, you should probably skip this game at its current price.